Okay, hopefully you got a chance to go ahead and try these problems. Now I'm going to go through G through L. Again, they're going to get significantly more difficult, but just remember to go step by step. Whatever you do, simplify it underneath, bring everything else down. I have to grab my pen. Okay, so starting with G, we have a set of parentheses, so we're going to take care of that first. So negative 12 plus 4, remembering our roles, I'm going to subtract them. So that's going to give me 8. And then I'm going to keep that bigger sign. And as a rule of thumb, if I'm simplifying in parentheses, I'm going to keep even my answer in parentheses just to keep my work a little bit more organized. Bring everything else down around it. So I didn't use any of this yet. So now think again. Used all my parentheses, nothing left to simplify. There's no exponents. So now I have multiplication or division. So here's the first problem I see. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of negative 8 divided by 2. That's going to give me negative 4. And again, even though the divided by 2 was not in parentheses, since this part was, I'm just going to keep my answer in parentheses because it keeps it a little bit more organized as I'm working. Bring down my minus sign and my negative 4. So now, let's highlight. So we did this step first, then we went through and did my division. Now I have some subtraction and some addition. So moving right to left, I see this subtraction problem first. So I see negative 4 minus negative 4. Subtracting always tells me to do same, change, change. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 4 plus 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and simplify that out. I'm going to make this even smaller. Those are my opposites I talked about the other day. So I know that always simplifies out to 0. So now I just have 0. So all that I did here was simplify my subtraction problem. I'm going to bring down my adding 1. And I just have 0 plus 1 as my final answer, which is going to be 1. Again, a little bit more complicated, so we really have to make sure we're taking our time, only simplifying one operation at a time, bring everything else we haven't used yet down around it. For H, I have a set of parentheses, but there's nothing to simplify in my set of parentheses. So now I'm going to move through and simplify all of my exponents. So I have negative 2 squared, I have 4 squared, and I have 2 squared. Keep in mind that this is what I was talking about in the beginning. So I have everything in parentheses. So everything is getting squared. So everything, negative 2 times negative 2, 2 negatives make a positive, so I get 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and simplify 4 squared to get 16. And then I'm going to go ahead to square 2 to also get 4. Bring down my operations that I haven't used yet and my plus 3. So I have plus sign, divide, plus 3. So next comes multiplication and division. So I see my 16 divided by 4. So I'm going to simplify that. 16 divided by 4, 4. Bring everything else down. And then move left to right, which I have addition for everything. So I have 4 plus 4, which is 8, plus 3 makes my final answer 11. For I, we have double grouping symbols. So notice that I have these brackets, and then I have this set in here. Anytime you see more than one bracket showing up or more than one grouping symbol, start with your innermost ones and work your way out. So that means the first thing I'm going to do is whatever is in my inside a set of parentheses. So I have 6 divided by 2. So when I go ahead and simplify that, I get 3. And now I'm going to bring everything else down. I'm not going to do anything else. So rewrite everything else exactly as I see it. Okay. So now I still have a grouping symbol. So now I have to simplify what's inside of these brackets here. So I'm going to work on simplifying that. I have more than one piece inside here, so I have to make sure that anytime I'm inside a grouping symbol, I'm always restarting my orders of operation. So I don't want to add first because I see this exponent. So I have 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. And then I'm going to, again, bring everything else down. Still have something to simplify inside of my brackets. I have 6 plus 9, so I want to do that addition problem. 6 plus 9 is 15. And since they were in brackets, I'm going to keep that answer in brackets. Okay, so I took care of all of my grouping symbols. No exponents left. So now I go to multiplication and division. Whenever you see something written like this, where you see a number next to a set of parentheses, that always means multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 4 times 15, 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 5 is 20, 40 plus 20 is 60, minus 1 makes my answer 59. J, again, I have two grouping symbols. Start with my innermost set first. Inside that inside set, I have subtraction and I have exponents. So I need to make sure anytime I'm inside parentheses, I restart my orders of operation. So what comes first is this exponent. So 2 squared is 4. So then just one step at a time, and I'm rewriting everything else without even thinking about what I'm writing down. Okay, I still have my inside set of parentheses, so I'm still going to simplify that. So I have 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is going to give me 4, and then I'm bringing everything else down exactly as it is written. So now I have this bigger set of symbols. Inside, I have 3 times 4 minus 6. Multiplication comes first. 3 times 4 is 12. Keep it in parentheses if I want to. Bring everything else down exactly as it is. Still simplifying inside those parentheses. 12 minus 6 is 6. So then I have 2 times 6 left. 2 times 6 makes my final answer 12. Okay, there's a lot going on here. I have a lot of parentheses. So I can see a big grouping section over here and a big grouping section over here. Anytime you kind of have something that looks like this, I can simplify this whole side down until I get one number. Same thing over here. So I'm going to start with this section first. All I'm going to worry about simplifying is what's inside here. So I have 4 minus 2 in parentheses. That's simple. I'm going to bring that down as a 2. And then I'm going to bring everything else down around it. Again, I'm worrying about everything over here when I simplify the left. Okay, so now inside my brackets, I have exponents. So I have to do that first. So I have 2 squared. That's going to be 4. So now I have negative 3. And then my final part, I have negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Okay. So on one set, I simplified all the way down to negative 12. Now I'm going to go ahead and simplify my second set of grouping symbols so I can see over here that all of this is grouped together. So inside, I see 3 minus 5. That's going to give me negative 2. Bring everything else down. Start my orders of operation over again. I have negative 2. I don't know why I wrote that as 3. So I have negative 2 squared, which is negative 2 times negative 2. That's going to be 4. Bring everything else down. So now I have negative 3 times 4 again. That gives me negative 12. Okay. Pay attention, though, because I never used this subtraction sign. All I did was simplify the grouping on the left and the grouping on the right. And then my original problem says, take this and simplify it all the way down, and then take this and simplify it all the way down. But notice what happened, because I can see I forgot something over here. I had my whole grouping symbols here, but I forgot to rewrite this exponent. So now I'm going to go through and add that in. It was outside my parentheses, so that means I didn't mess anything up yet. So as my final step, I'm going to go ahead and do negative 12 squared. Negative 12 times negative 12. That's going to give me 144. And then I'm going to bring down this minus sign. And then I have negative 12. So I have 144 minus negative 12. Subtracting negative numbers, remember, same, change, change. So I can rewrite this as 144 plus 12. So 144 plus 10 is 154, plus 2 more is my final answer of 156. Those are your most complicated ones. Now let's come down and look at our last one. So again, I can see 2 sets of groups. So anytime you see a whole set of parentheses up here, everything's inside, parentheses out here with everything inside, simplify them down as 2 parts and then worry about what operation is in the middle last. So starting left to right, I see 6 squared. That's 36. Bring everything else down. So now I have 4 minus 36. So if you're doing this in your head, well, what's 36 minus 4? That's 32. 4 is smaller, so I'm going to be way down in negative land. So it's going to be negative 32. And again, I'm just going to hang tight to that number. Now I'm going to simplify this whole side. Okay, so inside my parentheses, I have 2 plus 3, 5. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring everything else down around it. Reevaluate my orders of operation. Multiplication is always coming first. So I see inside there, I see 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. And now I have minus 4. Okay, so I have 20 minus 4. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that, and I get 16. So I'm going to bring my negative 32 down here so it's on the same line. Now I can worry about that operation that was in between them. So if I bring my division sign in between, now I have negative 32 divided by 16. A negative divided by a positive is always negative. So I have negative 2. Okay. So there you have it. There's your orders of operation. You will have reference to this page and this section in this video and the one before it. What you can work on now is your homework, which are all very similar to this. So they'll start out pretty basic like the first few did, and then at the end, they're going to get a little bit more complex like J, K, and L. But remember, just go step by step, one step at a time, rewrite everything underneath. If you have questions, feel free to email me, and your Google Meeting room is going to be open tomorrow during study hall if you need some extra help.